This is our 20th episode, and it's a big one. Lamont White is here talking everything dating.
So these are difficult conversations.
And relationships.
If you want to find love, it is work.
And then Lamont is answering our dating questions live on the show.
It's going down tonight.
What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG. Today's show, we're going to answer one very, very simple question. How come I'm still single? I'm going to be talking to Lamont White, who is everybody's favorite dating coach, about why so many of us are still single. And he's going to be answering some of our burning dating questions from viewers live on the show. If you have a dating question, make sure you drop it in the comment section. But first, I asked the question, how single are you, in the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group, and got answers like, I'm single as fuck, I'm single as a belly button, I'm single as a penny with a hole in it. I didn't even know a penny with a hole in it was a thing, but that's a different topic. My first guest is so single that the only person probably more single than him is me. Please welcome DeAndre. How come you still single?
By choice. Honestly.
Why?
Well, my experience in regards to dating in Atlanta has been terrible. I was in somewhat of a situationship. In my mind, mentally, it was a relationship, but let him tell it we were just friends. And it kind of happened. I let it go on for like 3 years unexpectedly because time pretty much flies. And I noticed how toxic it was getting on both sides. And I couldn't...
Both sides, like you and him?
Yes, we were both toxic.
If we could broaden the conversation a little bit.
Okay.
Like, how does that for you translate to single? I get why you might not be with that person. You started out saying that it might have been a toxic situation on both ends for one reason or another. But how does that translate to dating in general? For you.
For me specifically, I don't like to waste my time. Like, looking back at what I went through with this individual, I didn't necessarily waste my time, but I did in a sense, because there was no growth. Like, we pretty much stayed stagnant, the same place, the entire 3 years. And that was
3 years? You
three,
was with this man
years.
for 3 years?
I was talking to this nigga for 3 years.
Does 3 years with the same person and stagnation, does that make you bitter?
No, but I kind of started resenting him.
Resenting him or resenting dating? Or both?
Both, because it kind of put me in a position where, okay, well, if I can't get it with him, knowing his potential, then I probably can't get it with anybody else. And then, like, I tried the whole dating app thing. I was on Jacked. And then I even tried Grindr for a hot second, and it was just very sexual. And don't get me wrong, I'm a very sexual being as well. Like, I'm good when it comes to pleasing my partner and pleasure, but at the same time, that's not all that I don't do that. That's not all that I want. Like, yes, sexual chemistry and intimacy is a part of a relationship, but that should not just be all that the relationship is based on.
If you can kind of think forward about dating, do you believe that your dating life should complement your professional life, or is it a trade-off for you? I
feel like it should complement my personal life. Yes.
Because these dating situations didn't complement, was that a function of the situation, the other person, or you in your head?
It was a combination of all three, to be completely honest with you. Because there were parts of me that I was hiding out of fear of what this person might think, and who this person was pretty much around as well.
Okay.
So there was kind of like a lot of factors that kind of played in that.
Okay.
So if I had a man, then I will make sure that I put time into make sure that he knew what was up, pretty much.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's a perfect segue into the next segment. But because I'm always curious, is it if I had a man, I would make time, or do I make time so I can have a man? I'm curious about that, but we're going to ask my next guest after the break. For everybody else, we'll be right back. Dear Black Gay Men Live is brought to you in part by...
That's one of the reasons why I love her so much, because we can connect on so many levels like that.
Through her pictures, I was like, this girl is beautiful. I was like, good God.
Hit the notification bell because we're going live.
Like that's the least of my worries. The size.
Oh, I think relationships are becoming more complex.
Tuesday and Thursday every week
Welcome to Dear Black Gay Men Live.
at 9 p.m. Eastern. What up, though? Jay the Gentleman here. We want to know who you are as you're talking to us in the comments. So that we can see your name, visit StreamYard.com/Facebook to grant access. That's StreamYard.com/Facebook. Do it. Do it now.
How come I'm still single? Well, maybe it's not you, it's them. Maybe they're scared, maybe they're intimidated, maybe they're gun shy, maybe I'm tired of them bullshit crutches.
That was Kim Fields in her poem, How Come? I've been asking myself the same question ever since I met my next guest. He's the owner of Better Way to Meet. He's been featured in the New York Times, the Georgia Voice, Bravo TV, and a laundry list of other publications and outlets. Please welcome Lamont White.
Hello.
White to the
Yes.
I'm so excited. First question. DeAndre, at the end of segment 1, he said if he had a man, he would make time. I think that is a very valid point. My question to you is, do we get a man so we can make time for him, or do we make time so we can get a man?
Right. So, Jay, I will tell you, DeAndre is a whole project. Okay. I've been listening to the session. I want to give him a hug. I want to sit him on my couch and say, listen, let's just clean the slate. Let's clean the baggage and start from scratch so that he can learn how to date. One of the things, if you want to date and you want to date successfully, is that you have to have time. So he should clear his plate now. And what I loved I heard him say was that he is trying to date himself. So doing things that he likes to do for fun, getting outside of the house, relearning who he is. So you need to have time to do that. And so you can't be working 12 and 15 hours a day.
But what do you say to someone who is, an entrepreneur as he is? He has several gigs. He say booked and busy. Like, how do you manage being successful and pursuing love?
If you want to find love, it is work. And it is not going to be so easy just to bump into somebody who you find attractive, who you think is compatible. If you're working all day, that means you're going to pick from your work circle. And some of you all don't want to date coworkers or colleagues. So that means you can't spend all your time with those people. So that means putting a calendar invite for you to go to the gym, a calendar invite for you to go to an event, a calendar event for you to go out of town so you can see other people. It's called scheduling.
This one, which DeAndre mentioned as well, so shout out to him. Yes. But this comment from Cortez says, "Oops, I work 12 to 15 hours a day." So what do you
do you want to date a coworker? And if your answer is no, you can't be at the office or working 12, 15 hours a day, because that's what you're going to have to be left to pick from.
I have heard many people, I have said it myself, even though I've taken it back, that the Atlanta dating pool is shit. But the gotcha is all of those people that say that, myself included, are eligible bachelors or bachelorettes in Atlanta. So it can't be shit if we are in it. So what is the real tea about dating in Atlanta specifically, sir?
Would you rather be dating in Jackson, Mississippi?
Hell.
Would you rather be dating in Birmingham, Alabama?
No. No.
No. There are a lot of eligible black gay men here who are successful, who want to date. I feel like it is a trick and a lie that there are no eligible black gay men in the city who want a real relationship. There are tons of single gay men who are looking for love, and there are even more who are in relationships. What they don't do is post it all on social media. So they live in College Park in their homes, and they go to work, they go on dates with their husbands, their partners, and they keep y'all out of their business. That's what they do.
So this comment says, wait a minute, I'm from Jackson, but he right though. So clearly you know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Clearly you know what you're talking about.
Even
but I think that begs a question, Lamont, that if these eligible bachelors are at their house in College Park or at their house in Camp Creek and not coming out, then how do I, eligible person in Decatur, where it is absolutely greater, find these people?
Right. So I'm pushing guys to get outside of the house, right? So I say you don't get a badge of honor for saying, oh, I'm not in the gay scene. I don't go to the clubs. I don't go to the bars. Okay, well, you're sitting at home single. So you should go where single people go. Go to the park, go to the gym, go to a club, go to a spades party night. Like, if something for singles or something that you like to do for fun is occurring in the city, you should be there. Put a cute outfit on, take one friend with you, not a pack of friends, because nobody wants to fight through a pack of friends to talk to you. Take just one person. But we like to go out in like herds of people, and you're gonna leave with the herd that you came with.
Okay, this comment says, it says, I agree, Lamont, there are tons of us looking and eligible. It's just that there is a lot of individual work that has to happen that we aren't always willing to do. Do you agree with that, Lamont?
So I feel like, you know, I am a little biased because my background is as a therapist. And I feel like all gay men, all black people, all black gay men, whoever you intersect with, we should at least go to therapy for a little bit, because our society has taught us a lot of harmful things that we have accepted and internalized. So just like you go to the gym to work on your body, you have to work on your mental health. And you have to learn what are your core values, right? I heard DeAndre talk, and he really doesn't know what he wants. And that's okay, but start to discover that. Like, start to discover what compatibility looks like for you. Start to discover what type of relationship you want to be in. You have to write that down, because if you don't know, how is the guy sitting across from you going to know what compatibility is for the two of you?
So I do have a question asking for myself. Is it, when you are dating, is it part of the process to communicate that, or is dating really about catching the vibe? How much of it is intuitive and how much of it is explanation?
So you are actually, you're investigating. So not being intuitive, like you want concrete evidence that the person sitting across from you is compatible. So at times you may have
Okay.
to ask a series of questions. Like, do you think you can be with one person for the rest of your life? How do you spend your money? Right? Or other times you might just have to sit back. Like when I say sit back, listen and observe how he treats his friends, his family members, how he treats you, where he spends his money, how he talks about money, how he talks about sex. That's going to give you more indications about if he is compatible for you, both his words and his actions.
Okay. Another comment says, talking about activities, it says, but maybe consider an activity outside of the club bar scene. For example, I'm in DC and I joined the Gay Flag Football League. It's an activity I enjoy and it gives us common connection to start the conversation.
Listen, you've been taking notes, sir. You've been taking notes over there. Yeah, there are tons of like LGBTQ plus sports leagues. There are even churches. Yes, you can pick up a guy at a church, right? Like, go where you are going to find your tribe. Too often we try to go to places that are not welcoming to us, and we try to find our tribe, and it's like, no, just go spend your energy somewhere else where you're appreciated and loved. You can talk
Coming
to
up.
everybody, okay? Like, there's nothing special about you.
No. I can't. No hugs. My work ethic is above yours. You cannot fucking sit with me. Well, apparently you weren't on mute when Brandon came at you in that group chat, so apparently you did see it. How old are you? Why are you yelling? How old are you? Why are you yelling?
In a real tough, discussion right now. But hey, what's a show without drama, huh?
He's at work and he don't want to deal with y'all bullshit. Exactly what he said to me. You've been called out on that shit before. You be contradicting yourself. My thing is just take ownership of the shit that you do.
You get slapped. And you get slapped. You get slapped in front of him too, though. You get slapped for him too, though. You get slapped for him too, though, nigga.
Bitch. I want you to. I'm gonna knock you out. You better not swing. Bitch, stop playing on me, ho. Bitch, cause you doing that. You know you fucking wrong. You know I got attitude. Don't touch me. You gotta fuck you. Stupid ass.
Get in the conversation.
This comment says, I did a good job. It's time for a congratulatory ejaculation session.
Chat live on the show and get exclusive content.
The bottoms are going to eat me up for this in the chat.
Join the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group on Facebook.
So a lot of our viewers think that I am a dating guru. I am not. That is Lamont. I am a single guru. I am single. I single like the best of them. But that hasn't stopped me from giving some dating advice on the Dear Black Gay Men podcast. So Lamont, I'd like you to respond to a couple pieces of advice that I have given. You can tell me if it is good or not in a segment that we're calling Fact Check. So, Lamont, this is one that I said in episode 21 of the podcast. Check this out.
And so when you ask somebody out on a date, there is some responsibility that we have to take. And the taking of the responsibility is the thing that shows the other person that I'm actually interested in you. We think a lot of people are deluded to think that showing interest means, flirting and touching and all of those things. But the first step in showing somebody that you're actually interested in them is being curious about who they are. Having a good question. Don't interrogate. Don't come in with 50 questions, but have a good question that says, I'm really interested in you.
Thoughts?
You are going right down the right road over there, Mr. Jay the Gentleman. The only thing I would add is that it depends on the person that's in front of you. You have to figure out what their love language is. For some people, you need to do words of affirmation. Some you need physical touch. Some you have to bring them a gift. Find out who you're sitting across from and then show up for them in that way. And then that's how you'll stay out of the friend zone.
So how quickly should you be looking for love language? Is this like a first date, I need to figure this out? Or is this like over time? How quickly is that something you uncover?
This is definitely a first date activity question, getting to know the person. Oh, have you ever heard about the 5 love languages? Oh, yes, I have. My love language is X, Y, and Z. Or, no, I've never heard of it. Okay, well, let me tell you more about it. There's even a test we can take together, right? This dating is about figuring out if the two of you are compatible while creating great memories together. So it is okay to do that level of seeing if you're compatible. I didn't say do a job interview, but love language is such a key thing.
I love that you said dating is finding out if you're compatible while creating great memories. I think that is amazing. I mean, clearly you're the dating guru, so I mean it's obvious you would drop a nugget of knowledge.
That is it. It's not, is this my king? Is this going to be my husband? No, see if there's compatibility, but you got to create memories together. And it is hard to create memories together if the only thing that you do is just hang out at each other's house.
I'm here for that. Okay, so the next clip is this one. Check this out. Something about talking to is saying we're close enough to have an attraction, but not close enough to have a commitment. That's what I think talking to is. We'll do dating stuff, but we won't call it dating because that has a different cultural connotation. Thoughts?
If I could roll my eyes, I would roll my eyes, but I can't.
Why?
Because when I hear someone say, oh, we're talking and we're not dating, that means there's low investment in that person. That's what you're saying. You're saying, I just want to kick it. I don't want any ties to you. I don't want you to think that this is going anywhere. I am just enjoying this moment. And if I want to ghost you next week, I've given both of us permission to do that because you are just talking. You're not saying I am courting you, I'm dating you, I'm trying to get to know you, and I want it to go somewhere. Just talking means I can talk to the mailman, the grocery store. Like, you can talk to everybody, okay? Like, there's nothing special about you. You probably, if we're honest, that person has one or two things that you're looking for that you can identify. And it might be sexual, and it might be something else, but that's it. It's you can't find full compatibility with that person, so we'll just talk.
Should we be looking for full compatibility? Someone who I am completely compatible with?
That's the journey. That's dating. Dating is, let me see if this person is compatible. And when you say full compatibility, compatibility is not a long laundry list. Some people have a dozen things that they want out of somebody. No. Compatibility really should be about 4 or 5 things that are your non-negotiables. And then everything else is like, okay, I can be a little bit more flexible on it.
Okay. And so what is the journey like of finding out those 4 and 5 things? Because I mean, in my head, I could rattle off, if I am a surrogate for anybody else, I could rattle off 4 or 5 things. I could rattle off 10 or 20 things that I think I need. But how do I figure out what is an actual need versus something that I just want or think could be cute?
Right. So you have to intentionally date different types of guys. During that process, you take note of the type of relationship you're in and what works well for you. So you may have to date maybe 4 or 5 different guys over the next year or two. And then during that time, you are figuring out kind of like what works well for you. Yeah. And then you settle down with a guy that checks those boxes for you.
Okay. So that wraps up fact check, because I ain't gonna have you ripping me to shreds on every episode of my podcast. But remember, Dear Black Gay Men Podcast is new every Wednesday. You can download it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. When we come back, Lamont, you'll be answering questions live from viewers on the show. If you have a question for Lamont, post it in the comments during the break. We will be... Don't be afraid, Lamont, because we'll be right back.
What up, though? The conversations stay lit on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Hookup, entanglement, situation, relationship, everything from dushing to dating.
A top verb, but I am not a top noun.
I am a guru at first dates. It's new every Wednesday. Subscribe now.
I got all these questions from viewers. One of them is actually in the chat. I hope he's still here. But the first question that came from a viewer says, is it wise if I am a person who desires to be in a relationship, but I'm engaging with someone who just wants a friend with benefits?
This is what I call the art of wasting time. So you have said what you want. You want to be in a relationship. You want to be in something that is long lasting, that is healthy. But this guy just wants something physical, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys can tell when you are entertaining other people, and your response, your excitement to see them, your ability or flexibility to schedule dates with them. And if that guy who you're just hooking up with, you're giving him energy and time, it's harder for you to give it to other guys. So just cut him out and date guys. Or I think just say you want to be for the streets for 12 months. Just say that. It's okay. There's no judgment.
But I do think that a lot of people, myself included, a younger, less mature Jay, was like, but I might not have said I love him, but I got feelings for this person. And I want to develop them, and maybe he just needs some time.
But he's told you he doesn't want anything else, right?
I'm standing in the gap for the question. I don't know, but he said friend with benefits.
Friends with benefits. They have told you we are just friends with benefits. They don't want to escalate it to somewhere else. Now, if he says, okay, let's be friends with benefits and see where this goes. Okay, he has left the door open for other possibilities. In this situation, it is very tricky. You need to communicate often and do check-ins. How are things going? Where do you see this moving towards? Are we staying at this little level right here? Are we taking it up, right? Are you all going on dates? Are you doing more than just the benefit part? Are you courting? Because if you're not courting, you're going to be staying right there.
I do think that now you are the dating guru. I'm the sex guru. And I do think a lot of the girls, they confuse a fuck buddy with a friend with benefits because they want to they want to make it seem like it's more than what it is. If all y'all doing is entangling, then he's just a fuck buddy. And that is a lost cause on every level to me.
And Jay, I will tell you, there are guys that will have sex with you all night and all day, but will never, ever, ever, ever want to date you. And sometimes people confuse the two. Oh, I have sex with these types of guys. But those types of guys never want to take you on a date.
Okay, so the next question is live. He is here. Amistad is joining the stream. Amistad, you got a question for Lamont.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Amistad.
Hey, how are
great.
you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you too. So here's a question. I'm asking for a friend now, all right? I want you to go in on it.
Okay, friend.
So it goes, how do you not be shady and tell your hoes that you've settled down?
Oh, so these are difficult conversations because I think it is okay to date multiple people. Like you can date a basketball team, okay? And then when you find that MVP, it is now time for you to do what? Is clear the bench, right? So doing it is very strategic and transparent. And it has to be, y'all gonna hate me for this, it has to be final. So you say, hey, I am now in a relationship. We can't, hook up anymore. This is my partner's, his name. We're dating. Please do not, please don't send me no more pictures. Don't be no late night calls. That is going to be disrespectful to my partner. Unless you all have an open relationship or agreement, you have to set with the expectations on how they communicate with you going forward, if any communication. Some people you are going to have to cut off like a bad habit. You know which one to cut off, right? Because you might be tempted to backslide. So you say, don't call me no more. I'm blocking your number. I see you in the streets. I may say hi, I may not, but I'm in a relationship.
So I don't see myself having that conversation with the guy I met on Jack last night. Like how does that work?
Delete and block. Delete and block. You have ghosted him.
Was the sex good?
Right, that's all that matters. We're not having no
conversation. Was the sex good?
I'm gonna say it again. Delete and block, because now. Here's the thing. If you are saying you want to move forward with somebody who is your MVP, who makes you feel special, he is going to feel, rightfully so, if the exes, the whatever you call them, are still sending you messages and you all have decided that you are just going to be exclusive with each other. So if they're calling at 2:00 in the morning, if they're showing up at the house, your job, or anything else like that, you have not set
what you doing in text messages. Huh? That WYD will get you caught up every time. If they send a WYD at any time for any reason, yep.
It sounds selfish, but guess what? If you want to focus really on just one person, you can't do that with 5 other people in the background randomly sending you messages every other week.
Does that mean that sometimes it's okay to ghost people? Because then now you become the ghost if you just stop responding, boom.
If you don't have the maturity level or you don't have the words to say I'm in a relationship. Most people ghost people because they don't have the verbiage to communicate I'm not interested or I found somebody else. So they just block and ghost. Yeah.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Lamont, you have been amazing. Amistad and DeAndre, y'all are the best sports in this lightly petty conversation, but definitely a good conversation about about dating in Atlanta. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all. Don't go nowhere. Mute your mic because I got something for you in just a second. So I want to thank Lamont, all my guests, for joining tonight. You can subscribe to The Gay Dating Coach on YouTube and follow The Gay Dating Coach anywhere on social media. Have you ever talked to somebody? You've been talking to somebody and it felt pointless? That came up several times in the conversation. Perhaps the communication was off, or maybe your goals weren't aligned. That came up. It can feel like there's a lot of time wasted with people who aren't serious about their emotional future. The best thing about the dating services that Better Way to Me offers is that Lamont's clientele all have put time, effort, money, and intention behind finding a man. They've done the things on their own and now want to try something different. That's all of us if we really think about it. At every juncture in our lives that matters, we can either keep going the way we've been going or do something different. The first step The most important step is making the decision. So, dear Black gay men, make up your fucking mind. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, interestingly enough. If this episode made you feel a little more dope, be sure to share it with someone who needs a dopeness reminder. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and meet us back here next Tuesday in the Dear Black Gay Men Insiders group. The podcast is new on Wednesday. The show goes live on YouTube on Thursday. So follow at Dear Black Gay Men on YouTube, IG, and TikTok so you never miss a thing. I am Jay the Gentleman. That was our show. I'll talk to you later. Bye.